All right, so we are gonna start making our clay flower. So I'm gonna take my piece of clay here and I'm gonna make it into about 6 pieces, rip it into 6 pieces. And I actually want them to go from biggest to smallest. So as I go down here, I'm just kinda eyeballing some pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can make these a little bigger. And I'm gonna leave 1 piece off to the side. Okay, that's gonna be for my leaf of my flower. So next I'm gonna make them into nice little spheres just by rolling them in my hands. Or you can roll them on the table if you want, like this, around in a circle, but we want them to be nice circles. And I'm still looking to make sure that I'm going from biggest to smallest, or smallest to biggest, just in size order. So rolling them nice and neat. Okay, then what I'm gonna do, I could actually switch those two. That one seems to be a little bigger. I'm actually going to make them a pancake in my hands. So I'm just kind of pushing them. I don't want them too thin. These are gonna be the flower petals. Squish it kind of between my palms here. Maybe pinch it a little. Squish it. Pinch, making kind of a circle still. But now we're making it more like a pancake shape. Or in clay, it's called a slab when you work with a thin piece that's flattened. Okay. Pinching it a little bit. And a small one. All right, so now we're actually going to use our little wire tool here, and I'm going to, everywhere I'm going to touch these, I'm going to overlap them. I'm going to score. So scoring is just adding little tiny marks into our clay because we can't use glue. So I'm going to do this on this side and on the back side because we're going to overlap. So you can see I do it on that side, front side, back side. Because we can't use glue with clay because, well, 1, it's kind of wet, so the glue wouldn't work anyways. And 2, when we put it in the kiln to be fired, the glue will then can't get that hot, so it will kind of dissolve in the kiln or burn away. So we won't have a way to glue it. So this is called scoring, where you're adding the little tick marks here. And what's going to happen is your 2 pieces of clay, having all the tick marks, are going to go together like this and form a bond so that they can act like glue, even though we don't use glue. And I'm going to use a little bit of slip. Slip is just watered down clay, and it's going to act even more like glue to help our flower stay together. So I just use a little bit on my finger, put a little dab where I slipped it, and now I'm going to come in and press these together. Not too hard, because I don't want it to get stuck to the table. Gently press it together, and I'm actually going to line these all up, connecting. Now notice I'm kind of keeping it lifted up because I don't want it to get stuck on my table here. It's pretty dirty, so I'm kind of trying not to press it so hard into the table, because then you'll have to start this whole process over if it gets stuck. Because your clay is still a little bit wet. Its plasticity is still wet. So, all right, then I'm going to start from my small side, and I'm going to roll it very gently, making sure it doesn't come apart, kind of tapping it here as I go in the seams. Roll and roll. See, this one's kind of getting stuck, so be very gentle. Roll it. Oh, don't want to get stuck. Tapping it there, rolling it up, get that last one there. Okay, and now you can see I have a pretty flower, or I have a more closed flower. So I can decide which flower do I want, because the top and the bottom actually both look pretty good. I think I'm gonna go with this top that's got more of an open flower, and I'm just gonna press a little with my finger to open up those flower petals, okay? And so then the bottom, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pinch it together so that it starts to form a bottom. And actually what I'm gonna do too is, because I want it to be flat on the table, I'm gonna tap it on the table a couple times. Tap, tap, tap. And then it'll make me a nice flat bottom. And I'm just gonna work around, and I can even smooth out these lines if I want to, or I can leave them in so that you can see that it's two different flower petals. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, and then I have my last piece here, and I'm gonna kind of pinch it into a slab again, but this one I want it to be more oval, because this is gonna be our leaf. Oval or even pointed. I might make mine more pointed. See, I pinch at the end and make it pointed. And then same thing, I'm gonna use my little wire tool here to score it. And then I can decide, where do I want to put my leaf? Get a little bit of my slip. And I'm gonna think there maybe, there. No, I like it right here. And I'm gonna press firmly in. And to make it even look more like a leaf, I can use my little wooden tool here and draw some lines on it. Oh yeah, some texture. The more details I add, the better it's gonna look. I love it. I can smooth that out if I want. And we really wanna make it stuck on there so that it doesn't fall off, okay? All right, last and final thing, I'm going to carve my initials or name, whatever works for you, in the bottom. So I'm gonna put my Miss M-R-S dot, and I'm gonna do K. So you could put your initials, that's the first letters of your first and last name, or you can write your whole name on the bottom, and there you have it. All right, now we're gonna wait for it to dry to go in the kiln. So that should take, at least probably a week for it to dry. So to be thoroughly dry, meaning there's no water left inside here. So that means it will be a light color, and they call that bone dry. So I'll have to wait quite a while, and then we'll see you in the next video to show you how to glaze it. All right, can't wait to see what you come up with.